This is Aja Flowers and Courtney Thomas. Today is May 1st, and we are sitting in the dining room of Whitney Copeland, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her teen pregnancy experience.
So tell us, how old were you when you became a teen mom?
I was 15, going on 16. I was 15 when I got pregnant and I had the baby at the age of 16.
And how did you find out you were pregnant? And when you did, who did you tell first?
Um, I was having a lot of stomach pain and I didn't see my period. So that's how I knew that something was wrong. I went to the doctors and they told me the news.
How did you feel when the doctor told you were pregnant?
Scared.
And did you go to the doctors alone
Um, I went with my daughter's father, with her father.
And who was the first person you told that you were pregnant? And how did they react?
I told my mom, and she was really upset. She was screaming, telling me that I couldn't stay there with the baby. And it was a lot of stress from, having to listen to her all the time scream, telling me that this is not going to work. I'm going to have to find somewhere else to go. So it was a little hard.
How did you having a baby at 15 affect your childhood?
It affected my childhood in a lot of ways because I wanted to go to school. I wanted to finish school, but it was hard because I had no help, no babysitter, nobody to help me. So it was kind of difficult, to do all that, and still do the things that I wanted to do. So to balance out the two, it was kind of difficult for me.
Did it affect your self-esteem in any ways?
I wouldn't say that it affected my self esteem, but what I would say is that it made me feel like I felt different, like I felt like an outcast.
Like none of your friends can relate to what you were going through, or
Right. I felt like I did something that I wasn't supposed to be doing, which I wasn't, and that's how I felt.
what would you say was the hardest part of being a mom from then to now? Back then you were younger, and now you're older. What changed?
When I was younger, um, going out and, with my friends and hanging out, like I said, trying to go to school and all that stuff, it was hard for me getting up at night, making bottles and having to change diapers and in the hospital all night because they have a high fever, they're teething, they're cranky. It was hard for me. I felt myself at times crying more than anything. And the difference from then to now is that I grew to deal with the fact that that's who I'm going to be, a young mom. Well, not forever, I'm going to be a young mom, but just to deal with the fact that this is my responsibility. I have to take care of this child. If I don't do it, nobody else will. So it's just about dedication, dedicating yourself to raise your baby and know what's important, that he or she needs you and they need their mom. And that's what I had to grow with, and that's what I learned, as I got older. So now I say it's a lot easier. It's a lot, I enjoy it. I enjoy taking my kids out, going here and there with my kids. Just seeing them grow, make their first steps, walking, talking. I mean, it's exciting, but I will advise all girls to wait till you can really, do it and do it by yourself until you finish school and graduate from college and all that before you jump out there and have a child because
You think they would enjoy it more if you had everything set, like if you finished
Yeah,
school?
I think they would enjoy it more, of course, because it's a lot more they can do. You won't have to worry about, oh, how I'm going to get this, how I'm going to get that, how am I going to get his pampers, or who's going to watch him while I do this. When you have your life set, you would just say, okay, I'll just pay money for somebody, just pay money for somebody to watch them, watch my baby, or, you know, it'd be easier. So I advise them to pretty much wait till you finish everything you have to do.
Do you think being a teen mom is a cycle within your family? Or a young mother?
No, I don't believe that. If you're doing things that can get you pregnant, then things like this can happen. So all young girls who's listening, nobody can tell you what to do, but if you're going to be out here intimate, having sex or whatever, wear protection, because these are the things that can happen when you don't wear protection. That's my advice. So, just play it safe.
Well, was anyone in your family a teen mom before? Like, how was your mom pretty young when she had you? Or
Yeah, my mom was young. She was 14 going on 15. So she was younger than me, but...
So you think when you told her that you were pregnant, she kind of felt disappointed? Like, you think she felt like she didn't want you to go down the same path?
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt. Like, she didn't want me to end up like she was, like she having to go through all the things that she went through. And she was scared to, I guess, watch her daughter go through all the same things. And I know she wanted more for me.
So in which ways would you say that you being a teen mom has made you stronger?
Actually, I would say, like, just going through all that and having to take sacrifices, for me and my child, more so for my child, having to take sacrifices, having just to deal with the fact that, I'm a young mom trying to make it, with me and my baby, and just to see where I am now, I'm proud of myself, and I could say that, I did the best that I could, and I'm proud of myself.
So, what advice would you give teen mom? We already know you said that you would tell them that they should wait and they would just enjoy it more. But if they're uneducated about how they can protect themselves and things like that, like, what do you think they should do? Like, if you could do it over and you could, have someone to talk to about the situation, or if you could have avoided it, like, what ways do you think you could go about doing that for them?
I think that all parents should teach their child about safe sex, and the things that can happen when you have a child, and your outcome, even if they never experienced it. Me personally, what I want to say, like I said, to all of the young girls, anybody who's listening, I just want y'all to know that it's really hard. This is what I'm going to say to young girls. I feel like it's hard, and even if you may feel like you have family there to help you, and this person saying they're going to be there for you, whatever, don't do it, because there's a lot of girls out here that actually want to get pregnant, to have a baby. Mm-hmm. It's girls out here that I ran into when I was pregnant, like, oh, you're so lucky, and but I didn't feel lucky. Yeah. So sometimes they may feel that way because they're looking at it like, oh, the baby is so cute, I wish I had a baby, and
they're just saying the good of it, but they don't see what you actually go through.
Exactly. They don't see what you go through.
So Whitney, like, after all this stuff that you've been through, being a teen mom and having to grow up young, having kids, where you are now in your life and what you're doing, like, what would you say you're most proud of that you've accomplished so far?
I'm proud of myself that I stuck in there as long as I could, up until now, and I stayed dedicated to my baby, and I'm just proud that I did it, for him, for myself. I feel like that's important, and I'm just proud of myself where I'm at now. I got my own apartment. I'm raising him. He's in a good location where his good school is at. So I'm happy about that. And soon I'll be going off to work.
Okay, and if you could give him advice, obviously you don't want him to go down the same road you went through because you don't want him to have to struggle like that. So, what are you going to tell him when he gets older and it's time for you to have that talk with him? What are you going to tell him about having safe sex and protecting himself?
I'm going to tell him basically how hard it was for me, give him something kind of like a warning, about this how your life will turn out if you choose to go down that path. But when he gets about 13 or 14, I feel like he's old enough to know, because those are the ages, especially him being a male, I feel like those are the ages that he can go through something like that.